And action. Now, hi, I wanted to explain altered dominance today, and this lesson is going to be a theoretical one. So I've just got the sheet of information here, and I'm just going to go through it and demonstrate on the guitar. So first thing is, all dominant family chords have got at least 3 tones in common. That's the root, the third, and the seventh, and that forms a shell. We could express that on an instrument. We could go root, third, 7, or we could do it the other way and do root, 7th, 3rd. Those are both good basic voicings. Now, I should point out you don't need to put the root in if you're playing in a band with a bass player. So the putting the root in is an option for swing type guitar. It's an option for duo playing and so forth, where there is nobody carrying out the bass function. But if there is somebody doing the bass function, you would just have third and seventh, which is just a simple tritone. And the thing that determines whether it's altered dominant or unaltered dominant is the other tone. So unaltered or major key dominants can contain a fifth, contain a ninth, contain 11th, contain or a 13th, any of those. So the following chords could be considered as unaltered dominants. We've got A7, we've got A9, we've got A11. Now this is a bit of an odd one because with an 11th you don't normally put the third in. So 11th is by definition a kind of sus chord, and especially with your group A7 sus 4. So here's A7 sus 4. That's root, 4th, 5th and 7th, or the 5th is optional. 5th is always optional unless it's an altered 5th, that is raised 5th or flatted 5th. And this one here, G over A, which really is G, this is a kind of suspended chord, or it's not, it's just got no third in. G over A has got no third in. So G over A tells you how to make the chord. It's put a G major chord over an A bass note, but it doesn't tell you what's in the chord, and that's the weakness of slash notation. So what's in the chord is a root, a flat 7th, a 9th, and a 13th. So it's a kind of a 13th chord, but there's no third. And the A11 chord is commonly just I'll give you an A11 chord here. So this one is pretty indistinguishable from the A7 sus 4. Now A13, sorry, left that one out. A13 with a 9th. There we go. So should point out that these chord symbols aren't really precise enough to tell you every tone that's in it. Not every A13 has got a 9th in it as well. And it might have an 11th. This is just a root 7th, 3rd with a 13th in the top. So it really refers to the most important colour tone on top of the bass. Now, an altered or minor key dominant will contain any of the following tones: a flat 5th, a sharp 5th, a flat 9, or regular 9, or a sharp 9, sharp 11, or a 13. Now, the flat 5th and the sharp 11 are the same things, but you can consider a dominant 7 flat 5 chord where, if you like, you can consider that to be a triad with a flat 5th, so, not a triad, a 7th chord with a flat 5th, or you can consider it to be a sharp 11 if you've already got a 5th in there as well. Maybe if you've got a 5th, then you could consider, instead of thinking of it as having a 5th and a flat 5th, you think of it having a 5th and a sharp 11th. So this nomenclature is kind of imprecise, but you've got to kind of read between the lines a bit and understand the practices of the music that you're studying. But it's a good way of kind of getting a basic idea. So typical chords. Well, you've got A7 flat 9. So I'll play it for you here. You've got A7 sharp 9. both of those you can consider as coming from the diminished scale. So you could play those with regular fifths if you wanted. Then you've got A7 sharp 5. This is a nice one. A7 flat 5. We've come across that before. If you like, both of those can be considered as whole tone chords, coming from the whole tone scale. We've got A7 13 flat 9. This is an interesting one. So here we go. I think this is it. It's a really rich one. So there we got root 7th sharp 9. And we got 13th. So the 13th is at the top. Third 13th, there we go. Root 7th, sharp 9, third, 13th. We got that. Okay, that's a beautiful chord here. So that, again, that's a kind of diminished scale chord. You can derive it from harmonising with the notes of the half-whole diminished scale. A9 sharp 11. Now this one is definitely what you would consider to be a... Oops, I don't think that's right. Sorry. So we've got the 9th sharp 11. This one seems to be eluding me slightly. A9 sharp 11. So hang on a second. So yeah, A9 sharp 11. That's an interesting one. That one could be considered as coming from the whole tone or the Lydian augmented scale. We've got A7 sharp 5 flat 9. That's a peach of a chord. That one comes from the altered scale, the Superlocrian, the same thing. And we've got A7 sharp 5 sharp 9. Again, same source. Now we've got A7 flat 5 sharp 9. And A7 flat 5, sorry, that was A7 flat 5 flat 9. And finally A7 flat 5 sharp 9. Both great chords, and that again is from your Superlocrian scale. So in spite of all this sort of complexity with the naming and all the tones and all the sources that you get the chords from, what's important to remember is that the function of any dominant chord is to resolve, and there's two places it resolves. Upper fourth, which is the same as down a fifth. So we think upper fourth just because it's nice and easy on the brain, you know. A7 resolved upper fourth, A to D. Okay, so A7 to D. Beautiful. All right, or D minor. You know, this is the hallmark, the 5-1 progression, perfect cadence. Hallmark is classical progression, a lot of pop, subsequent pop. Now, the other way it resolves is down a minor second, so here we got E flat 7 to D, or E flat 7 to D minor. Both great resolution. So it doesn't really matter if it's an altered dominant or an unaltered dominant, they're both going to resolve the same way. Now, traditionally, or commonly, in diatonic harmony, that is harmony which is primarily derived from the scales the chords are constructed from, unaltered dominants used in major keys and altered dominants used in minor keys. So, a typical jazzy major key progression uses an unaltered dominant, 2-5-1, E minor 9, A13, 5, and D major 9. Okay, now in a minor key, you'd use the altered dominant on the 5. So we've got 2 minor 7 flat 5. Now we've got an altered A7 sharp 5 flat 9, and finally a D minor 6. Very nice. Okay, so here's the thing. In jazz, it's very common to use an altered dominant in a major key. So you're going to substitute the regular unaltered dominant, such as A13 in the key of D, for the altered dominant, A7 sharp 5 flat 9 in the key of D. So we get E, minor 9, A7 sharp 5 flat 9, and finally D major 9. Or what might sound a little bit better there is D major 6 9. That's it. Okay. Let's, we're going to stick, actually you can do 5-note voicings here because of the voice leading is a bit more effective. That's it. And so, E minor 9, A7 sharp 5 flat 9, that's the substituted altered dominant, and D major 9. And there you have it. It's pretty much the basics of altered dominant. So, you just, they're just colourful chords, colourful dominant chords that you can jam in your jazz type progressions according to the appropriate taste and style. So I'm going to do some more videos explaining how you can use them, some visual videos. Alright, so I hope that's useful for you, and drop me a line, any feedback, any questions you want to answer, and I shall see you soon. Alright, bye bye.